Jesus, I can't get it with my own. Jeez. Why did I think that would be a good idea? That was a mess. We're gonna go through 3 topics. First, what are they? Where do they show up in Magic? And what are some cool card interactions? So, Saporling. They're this fungus, plant-like green algae thing capable of reproducing and spontaneous generation. The term Saporling seems to be a generic term for small plant fungus creature rather than a specific species. They only appear as creature tokens. There are around 70 to 80 cards in Magic that are able to create Saporling tokens. Let's go find out where they first pop up. First, we're going to talk about Dominaria. More specifically, Saporlings. This is the first known place to see Saporlings. They shared a symbiotic relationship with Thalids, resulting from the Thalids' rebellion against the Elves. These early Dominarian Saporlings had long, serpentine-like bodies and vicious fangs. Next, we go to Yavimaya. The Saporlings of Yavimaya shared ties with they were remarkably effective against the undead during the Phyrexian invasion, as they would drop out of the trees and burst open, spreading this rotting agent on the Phyrexian zombies that would cause them to rapidly decay. As Yavimaya had been heavily involved in preparation for this invasion, it may be that these Saporlings were specifically bred for this purpose. As Yavimaya had been heavily involved in preparation for this invasion, it may be that these Saporlings were specifically bred for this purpose. In the present, Saporlings are herded by Thalids who primarily use them as a source of food. Next, let's go to Ixalan. Here in Ixalan, you'll find many of the Saporlings in the jungle. Here, they're tended by dryads, and you'll occasionally find them growing on some dinosaurs. Unlike other Saporlings, these guys resemble more like flowers and walk around more like insects. Next, we have Alara, specifically the Shard of Jung. Here, they're created of a plant matter, usually fungal, and have a strong connection with rotting corpses. They have a much different appearance than other plant Saporlings, kind of more of a shielded appearance. Turn this bad boy back on. Finally, we're going to talk about Ravnica. Saporlings existed in the urban environment in the city of Ravnica. You'll particularly see them in 2 groups, in the Selesnya and in the Golgari, the 2 green guilds of Ravnica. The Selesnya Saporlings are plant-like, like the ones from Dominaria, but you'll see some more like crystals involved in their design, where you have the Golgari Swarm Sap that are more of a mix of that like plant, but also the Golgari Swarm Saporlings are more of a mix of rotting flesh and plants. And then you also have some Saporlings in the Gruul Guild, but these guys resemble more of some like multi-headed centipedes. The 2 guilds you'll mostly see Saporlings in are the Selesnya Guild, the white-green one, and the Golgari Guild, the black-green. Let's talk about some cool card interactions. I'm gonna go over 3 cards. The first guy we're gonna look at, Gabe, Guru of Spores. Gabe, Guru of Spores is a legendary creature, fungus shaman. When he enters the battlefield, you put 5 +1/+1 counters on him. Then he's got 2 abilities. Both of them cost 1 generic mana. The first one, you can remove one of those +1/+1 counters from any creature that you control to create a 1/1 green Saporling creature token. When Gabe enters the battlefield, you put 5 +1/+1 counters on it, and then it's got 2 abilities, both for 1 generic mana. The first one is you can remove a +1/+1 counter from any of your creatures to create a 1/1 green Saporling creature token. The second is you can sacrifice a creature to put a +1/+1 counter onto a target creature. This can lead to so many just weird interactions and shenanigans of infinite life, infinite mana, infinite counters. I've won many games with this guy.
Sheila!
So the second guy that I got is this guy, Michaeloth. So he's got Devour 2, which means when he comes in, you can sacrifice any number of creatures, and then this guy comes in with that many counters based on what Devour number it is. So for instance, this is Devour 2, so if he were to come in and let's say Devour 3 creatures, so you sacrifice 3 creatures, then this guy is going to get 6 counters, because it's 3 creatures times Devour 2, so 3 times 2 equals 6 counters on him. Then, at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a then, at the beginning of your upkeep, put a 1/1 green Saporling creature token into play for each +1/+1 counter on Michaeloth. So, you don't really even need to sacrifice any creatures. If you can just find a way just to dump +1/+1 counters on this guy, then when it comes time for your upkeep, you're gonna get a crazy amount of Saporlings. All right, for the third guy, we're gonna do this one, Tender Shoot Dryad. Okay, for the third guy, we're gonna do Tender Shoot Dryad. He is a Dryad creature and he has Ascend. So basically, if you have 10 or more permanents, then you get City's Blessing for the rest of the game. And what that's gonna do is basically give like a boost to any of your guys that have Ascend. So for instance, this guy has the ability at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green Saporling creature token. Then, Saporling creature tokens you have get +2/+2 as long as you have City's Blessing. So, even if you don't have City's Blessing, you're still gonna get a Saporling every upkeep, but once you get that City's Blessing, then you're gonna be starting to make 3/3s every turn as long as you still have this guy out, which can get out of hand quick. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. If you liked it, let me know down in the comments. I'll have all my resources down in the description. And see you guys next time. Peace.